Storytelling is a big part of adventure. When you're out on the dusty trail hiking, camping under the stars, or in our hero's case, hunting down the varmint that burned down your home, telling stories is one way to pass the time. It could be stories about past criminals you had a standoff with, saving a damsel in distress, or it could be stories of the things you've seen beyond the world of bugs during your years as a bounty hunter.
So tell me, Stetson, how long you been working on the railroad?
About a couple years now. Not that I'm appreciated.
Now what do you mean by that?
My boss, Clyde, he thinks I'm good for nothing 'cause I play dead.
Clyde. I heard about him. Mantis told me what a lousy camel spider he is.
He thinks I'm a nobody.
Let me make one thing clear, Stetson. You're not a nobody.
You ever seen the world beyond our own before?
Have I seen the world beyond our own? Stetson, I've been far and wide beyond the Ironclad Railroad. Places you couldn't even imagine. West America is a huge continent. 99% of it is desert, and the Sonoran is just one of many diverse deserts. You got the Mojave with its Joshua trees, the Chihuahuan with its many species of succulents, including yucca, the red rock country of Utah, the endless basins of Nevada, and much, much more. And on top of that, you've got the high country, and it's a different world up there. You've got trees and many species that you don't find in the surrounding desert. And it gets much colder up there in the winter, to the point where it snows a lot, something that's rare in lower elevations.
Does the railroad go to these places?
Stetson, not only does a railroad go to these places, but trains 32 times the size of ours connect these places. You see, the trains we use are actually a model of what the much bigger inhabitants use for backyard railroading, called G-scale. But first, let me tell you about the giants. The Desert Forge Railroad is not only the connector of this vast continent, it's the driving force of the entire economy. Without the railroad, businesses shut down, companies go bankrupt, and businessmen go broke. But as long as the business working with the Desert Forge is not corrupt, they'll be fine. You see, the owner and CEO of this massive empire is a legendary feline lawman and military captain by the name of John West. He lives right here in Tucson. John is everything a railroad man should be. He's fair. He has a moral compass that shuts down any crooked businessman faster than a rattlesnake strike. He treats his workers with great respect.
So he's the opposite of Clyde. Clyde treats his workers like beetle dung and only cares about money.
Precisely. And John West is the richest feline in West America. But he doesn't scheme. He doesn't try to get more. And he puts quality of service over profits. You see, if a business is caught doing something immoral, like treating workers bad, smuggling drugs, embezzlement, or anything illegal, that company shuts down. Because without the railroad, they have no way to transport their product. He won't do business with corruption of any sort.
You're under arrest, hombre.
He fights for what's right. He fights for justice. And he fights for the common good. In fact, he fought in World War III. He started as a soldier fighting in the trenches, then worked his way up through the ranks.
So you're telling me he's both a gunslinger and a railroader?
That's right. He's actually the most famous gunslinger in Wild West history, both old and modern. To tell you the truth, he kind of reminds me of a couple of friends of mine in Tombstone. Wyatt Chirp, the fastest cricket in the West, and a sharpshooter. And Doc Hollablaze, his deputy, the wittiest firefly you'll ever meet. So you see, John West, he's the kind of man you want on your side.
What kind of locomotives does he use?
The Desert Forge Railroad uses many different kinds of locomotive models, more than I could even count. But in simple terms, they use every power type. Steam locomotives, diesel locomotives, electric trains, and even some experimental units out there with a new kind of fuel. Now let's get back to the trains we use as bugs. As I said before, the trains we use are simply a smaller version of those used on the Desert Forge. To the big inhabitants, our trains are considered recreational models, and the particular scale we use is what they call G-scale, popular for backyard railroads. In fact, the Ironclad Railroad is actually owned by a local railroad enthusiast who happens to work for John West. His name is Edward, and his house is in the foothills of the Tucson Mountains where we are. With the exception of the line that goes up into the Santa Catalina Mountains, the Ironclad Railroad is located entirely within his giant backyard. The towns of Boot Hill, Cactus Junction, Rattlesnake Ridge, and Gila Corner are all located on Edward's property. Many inhabitants of Boot Hill and the other towns don't even realize this. Now you're probably wondering, how do bugs travel beyond his property? The obvious answer for flying insects is exactly that, flying. But for those you use, the trains currently, there is no other way, except for rattlesnake carriages and stagecoaches pulled by millipedes. Although there has been talk of expansion.
So you're telling me the true owner of the Ironclad is a feline who uses the trains for fun and doesn't realize we use it for transportation?
Exactly. He's a friendly one, though. He takes great care of his desert garden. He ain't the only train enthusiast in the crew, though. John's human business partner, Robert Couch from Oklahoma, is also a rail enthusiast.
I didn't realize there was so much out there beyond our railroad.
Indeed it is. Now, Stetson, a word of advice. Don't let Clyde get you. He doesn't realize the potential you got. He will soon figure you were the best thing that happened to the Ironclad Railroad.
You really think so?
If he continues to doubt you, we're just going to have to replace him with somebody who knows you've got talent. This is it. Are you ready to face Buzzkill Boyd and his gang for your first day of training?
He burned down my home. Let's go kick his ass.